There we go. All right. So to start, do I have permission to record this interview?
Yes,
Perfect. And could you please tell me your name?
Maria Ibanez.
Nice to meet you, Maria.
Nice to meet you.
How would you describe the community in Mount Pleasant today?
So should I look at you or the camera?
You can look at me now.
Okay. How would I describe the community today?
Yes.
I would say it's different. It's not as diverse as one would think. It's not as many small business shops. Not many shops that are owned by communities of color. So it's a little different. It's very different.
And could you describe in a little detail how it was in the past?
It was a lot more diverse. I would say that probably the entire block of Mount Pleasant, the 3-block strip, majority of the business owners were Latino or Caribeños, whereas today it is not that. Very family oriented, everyone knew everyone, and it just seemed more connected. There was a lot more of a connection amongst all of the families and people who were here in the neighborhood.
What is one of the places that make you feel a part of the community, either in the past or today?
Well, in the past, certainly Sacred Heart Church and Sacred Heart School, where I was born and raised and baptized, confirmed, went to Sacred Heart School, graduated from Sacred Heart School. Also just the neighborhood, as far down as into Adams Morgan, Calorama Park. Also church, where I took piano lessons. And just the neighborhood, the zoo, the parks, Walter Pierce Park, where the Ontario Lakers used to play baseball in the 70s and in the 80s. So all of those different things.
And would you say those are still the same spots that make you feel a part of the community today?
They do. They make me feel a part of it. Very nostalgic, but sometimes it makes me feel sad because those days, obviously, they're not here anymore, and the environment has changed completely, where the communities that existed back then, many of those families are gone for a variety of reasons, whether it's cost of living or they have passed on, and the community has just become unaffordable for everyone. Many people are priced out, so it's that makes me sad.
Is there any place that you take your friends or family when they come and visit you, or do you kind of just stay home and stay within the community that you create?
Well, that's funny. So we stay home because I live in my childhood home. So we have a lot of memories at home. So we'll stay there and we reminisce about so many memories growing up. Everyone in my family has gone through that home. And so we all have a story to tell. And then we'll just drive around the neighborhood. We'll walk around the neighborhood. We'll go back to Sacred Heart Church and look at the building. We recently had our Sacred Heart class reunion right before the pandemic started. So we got to see all of our classmates from 1970s. So just being in the neighborhood and then, just reminiscing different places where we grew up and went to and played and all those things.
And my last question for you, how would you like Mount Pleasant to look in the future?
I want it to be affordable. I want it to be affordable. I want it to be affordable so that families of all colors can consider living here or moving back here. I would like to see more of my community engaged. There aren't too many families of color anymore. I'm among some of the last few that are left. All of them have gone. And so that's a big missing part of the community. It's defined as diverse, but in reality it's not diverse.
And if you don't mind me asking a follow-up, what do you think it's going to take for the community to get to that?
Oh gosh.
Or get back to that?
Well, I think there are a lot of pieces of it, and one of the main things has to do with being able to afford to live here. And unless that is in place, it's going to be hard to even start to move in that direction. The schools have definitely gotten better in the community, so that's a big plus, which is why so many people like the neighborhood. But we need to find ways to make it accessible to everyone.
And is there anything that I didn't ask that you'd like to touch on?
No, it's nothing. I would just say that, you know, I'm Latina, I'm Afro-Latina, and I was part of the first wave of immigrants who came to Washington, D.C. in the 50s, and sometimes that community is forgotten, but we were here, we were business owners. We had a lot of Latino families live up and down Irving and Kenyon and Kilbourne and Lamont, and I have a lot of those events on film and in photos, so you know, I miss that. I miss that, and I'm not gonna get that back. And sometimes, like I said, I wish some of that could come back. And sometimes, like I said, it saddens me when I look outside my own block, my neighborhood, and I don't see many people who I knew. It's almost like a stranger in my own neighborhood, but I love my neighborhood, right? I was born and raised here, and it's a great place to live. So I just wish others could have that accessibility to experience that. Yeah.
Well, that's all I have. Thank you so much
Okay.
for taking the time. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.
All right.